Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
We're back with another Stack Supplement Podcast interview, and we have with us today someone I'd say is an industry veteran or industry just all-around genius. Dinosaur, if you want. It is Ike, who is now the Vice President for AP Sports Regimen, Alpha Prime Sports Regimen. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Shane. Obviously, longtime friend, longtime fan, so honored to be a guest and really excited. Got some really exciting news to share with you, to share with your followers, to share with the world on something that's coming together over here at AP Sports Regimen.
So you've worked with a lot of reputable brands over the years. ProSup's obviously one of the biggest ones you started with and been with or were with for a while. And now you're with AP Sports Regimen, which has a kind of a bit of a backstory because it's a lot more than just supplements, which isn't the case with a lot of brands. Do you mind just going into a bit of detail, I guess, about the brand itself and where the supplements come into play and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, I've been in the industry for a while. Started with VP Exports way back in the day. Actually co-founded ProSups. We built that to, a nice business around the world. Had a brief stint last year at a different company, and this opportunity kind of presented itself here locally where I live down in South Florida. I've actually known the owner. His name's Cesar Baccarella. I've known him for a couple of years, kind of a local guy. I'd see him in the gym all the time. And he actually started a company about 2.5 years ago. I think it was November 2017. They started a company called Alpha Prime. And it basically started as a high-end fitness clothing brand, Alpha Prime USA, where they basically make all types of fitness clothing, joggers, shorts, women's tights, sports bras, all that type of stuff. And that brand actually took off for them. Shortly after that, they started another company called Alpha Prime Team Sports. And that's really interesting. Most of you probably don't know, but my background was actually being a baseball player growing up all my life. I was really, really into it. So good that I had an opportunity to play some pro ball, but I actually blew out my shoulder and had to hang it up. But for 15 years of my life, it was playing baseball. So on the sports side here, they basically make everything from sporting team uniforms. They've got bags, baseball bags. They've got baseball batting gloves. They've got, you name it. It's actually really, really cool. So, if you need, let's say, Shane, you're doing a men's softball league out there in New Zealand and you need 15 uniforms made, you could literally call them up. They'll actually stamp the uniforms right here in the beautiful office and send you uniforms. So that's actually been a pretty big business for them as well. Oh, wow. And then they jumped into the sports nutrition world in December of last year. So that's brand new here. That brand is called AP Sports Regimen. I was lucky enough to be presented an opportunity to come here and basically as the vice president and run this company with Cesar and the team that have been here before under the Alpha Prime name. And, I'm blessed. I think it's a really cool opportunity. I'm really excited.
Okay. Yeah. So it's definitely a brand that's been around for a while. Not so much in the sports supplement space, but you've basically come on to, I would say, almost revitalize completely, really, the entire brand, because you're saying that you've come on to you're responsible for the new look. Obviously, we're in for more types of supplements, but different formulas and everything like that. And so that's all out now, right? The new look, the one that we're seeing all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. So actually, the new look was done prior to me getting here. And again, the supplements are brand new, launched in December. We're in February, so we're talking less than 90 days.
Yeah.
So I still consider basically everything a new brand at the end of the day. But Cesar's a really smart businessman and entrepreneur. Has been very successful in a lot of different businesses. He's done really well on the construction side. He's actually a professional NASCAR driver. He's a professional Ferrari Lamborghini driver out in Italy and some different leagues and organizations out there. So he's done really well. He's obviously created the Alpha Prime clothing brand, which has done really well. Created a really cool logo, a symbol, which a lot of people already recognize outside of the fitness world as well. So
literally when you told me about the brand and you said AP, that was the one thing I mentioned to you. That was what I remembered because I was watching the Olympia stream and that was hanging in the background. And
yeah, they actually were one of the title sponsors of the Olympia last year, even though it was a smaller show, but down here in Orlando, Florida. You might have saw the logo there, but everything starts with a great logo, and they knocked it out of the park with the logo. Great name. All the big elements are here, and you know, Caesar's like we mentioned, very smart business guy, and he's realized, you know, if he wants to make an impact in the sports nutrition world, he needs to bring on a team of people that have the experience, have done it before, are well respected, and have the contacts to do it. So that's kind of how I landed here. I was also blessed with an opportunity to bring a couple of my former Pro Subs guys with me, some other guys that actually started Pro Subs with me. One of them was one of my best sales reps, JP Lanza. He's actually here, and I also got to bring my head creative designer from Pro Subs. His name is Joseph Rojas. So you know, just so happens we get to kind of build something again under a different brand, have the right key elements in place. Obviously, how a brand is built today is totally different than how we built a brand back in 2012. The games have changed, you know, times have changed, right? But we learned a lot in growing Pro Subs and our time in the industry. I feel like, you know, we've got the best team. You know, Caesar's a humble, great dude. Like I said, really smart business guy. So he's obviously made the right moves by bringing on the A team here to kind of get this thing off the ground and running. And you know, that's, you know, I can't show you right now. You guys will all see this beautiful office that Caesar and the team has built. It's probably about 6 weeks out from being complete, but we'll give everybody a video tour of this brand new building here in Sunrise, Florida, that's been created, that we'll get to work out of every single day. A lot of cool parts of the building, but you know, Caesar's invested 100% into all of his brands, you know, Alpha Prime USA, Team Sports, and AP Regimen. And, you know, he's got the right people in place to grow this thing, and that's what we're going to do.
So currently the lineup of supplements, as you said, launched in December. You have a lot of the major categories covered. You got amino, 2 types of protein powder, a blend, and a premium isolate. You've also got sleep, weight loss. Am I right in seeing that there's no pre-workout currently in the brand?
Yeah, so there was actually a pre-workout that was created over a year ago. It was kind of a test, it was a test product under the Alpha Prime name.
Yeah.
It was kind of built a little bit differently. They've since kind of moved away from that. We'll be creating a new pre-workout, maybe 2 new pre-workouts under the current look and the AP Sports Regimen. But you're right. We've got a you know, a really cool EAA BCA product called EA Plus Hydro. You know, 10.5 grams of aminos. Aquamin in terms of, you know, electrolyte complex. So one of your highest dosed amino products in the market, at least per scoop. Really cool sleep product that's, you know, backed with GABA, theanine, 5-HTP, some stuff to really help calm you down, relax you, in high doses of these ingredients as well to kind of help you get to sleep. Top Burn's kind of a thermogenic, but more of an energy focused type of product. Dynamine, alpha GPC, some of the big ingredients there, all in hefty dosages. Like you said, a pure cold filtered whey isolate, straight isolate. Also a whey blend, WPC and WPI. And also a product called Non-Stem, which is almost like a GDA. You know, it's got your berberine and some ingredients in there for insulin to kind of help with insulin sensitivity, so and regulate that.
Like a stem-free fat burner type thing with GDA.
Like a stem-free fat burner. Yeah, focuses more on managing insulin levels and things like that throughout the day. There's no caffeine in it, hence the name Non-Stem. So there's a pretty good lineup of products now. But, you know, as you know me, Shane, everybody kind of knows me. I love to innovate products and create stuff. We're definitely going to bring it. And there's a lot of categories that we don't currently play in right now that we're going to play in by the end of this year. And we're going to come hard, and we're going to come with, you know, really good formulas. People know the type of stuff that I put together is going to be, you know, heavily dosed. It's going to be efficacious. It's going to taste good. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had seen Alpha Prime before with the pre-workout, and actually I didn't know you were missing one of that now until I looked earlier. But the yeah, so the product seemed to be more, I guess, on that premium level, not necessarily down near the $30, $35 area type thing that you see with most mainstream products like the C4s and Hyde and stuff like that. So this is more in the premium advanced level. So the pre-workouts, you're saying you're looking at doing a stem and a non-stem. I'm sorry, you're looking at 2. I assume the other one's non-stem, or one of them is.
Yeah. So to be honest, there's a lot of different ways we can go with this right now.
Yeah.
So right now I'm kind of working on building the brand architecture, kind of how this brand's going to lay out, the sub brands of the brand, how those things are going to deviate from the line at the end of the day. So, to do it right, you got to make sure everything kind of is synergistic, looks good, plays with each other, whether you create things that are for specific channels, where maybe you need to compete, maybe you need a sub brand that does compete in that more economically priced range. Obviously, you got your premium brand. So right now, just kind of laying everything out. It's kind of like building a blueprint, like, to building a building, right? You want to lay it out, kind of see where everything is and figure out where you want to go. Make sure you've got marketing campaigns and strategies to get this into the channel and make sure it turns in that channel. So, back in the day, I would say in pro subs, man, I would just make products that I liked and that we liked. We would make them and we would throw them out there and thank God they sold, Today's different. We live in a digital world now. It's a lot different. So you really got to do your diligence and think things through, be strategic as you create things. And one of the biggest things I learned too over the years is the difference from back in the day when I would create things that I like. There's so much data out there now that you should be able to create products that people are searching for.
Yeah.
Right. We can find what people are searching for. We know the categories. We kind of know the ingredients they're looking for, right? So being able to kind of use that data to put us into something that people are looking for, but also make a good product is kind of going to be the trick here. So a lot of different ways we can go, but everything we're going to do, like I said, everything we make is in GMP compliant facilities, also NSF certified facilities. Doing everything by the book. There's going to be nothing gray level on what we do. And, a lot of people are going to hear Caesar's story. We got a little series that we're going to be dropping on Caesar, kind of his upbringing, how he's gotten to where he is today. And I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to that story. But one of the things that hit me when he was telling me the story was, he grew up not with a lot of clothes. And when you do, you only have a couple pairs of jeans, a couple shirts, and that's all you got. And one of the things that inspired him on the clothing line that he started back in 2017 was he wanted to make premium clothes, but also make them affordable for most people. And I think there's a lot to that. And I think there's a play for us on the supplement side. So I think you can still make good products, but also still make them affordable for people. Obviously, that means we're going to make a little bit less money in that scenario, right? But that's kind of the motto between Alpha Prime and what he wants to do and be able to offer good products to people that's affordable.
With Rise, the brand you were most recently with, it seemed like a lot of focus, at least on that line and that brand, was on the functional convenience side. You did the liquid carnitine, the on-the-go pre-workout. You even had the protein bar. Do you see that as a fit? Because very much like Rise, even though they're much different in age, AP is missing those sorts of things, the convenience, and that has become a huge draw for a lot of brands as you move to the more on-the-go things. Is that
absolutely? I mean, everything is, at least here in America, but even around the world, everything is moving to convenience. So you definitely got to play there. I feel like everybody's trying to play there now, right? So, it's definitely becoming saturated. But, we definitely need to play there. And that was one of the moves I made at Rise last year by creating an RTD. A little bit different than kind of what everybody else was doing. Felt like everybody was playing carbonated. I went more still, efficacious, and made a big pre-workout drink with high levels of ingredients, right? So, and that drink did really well in the marketplace. So definitely something we are going to play in. We might play in these categories at different levels as well versus singularity items. So, we might play in some of these categories with 2 or 3 different products. The good news is there's a lot of versatility in the marketplace today. I know a lot of the contract manufacturers, that's probably something, I've gained over the years is, where you can make certain products, how you can negotiate lower minimums, and, not make the same mistakes that we might've made back at some of these other businesses. Right. So we definitely want to play there. I could probably say, there'll probably be at least 1 functional RTD that we have out before the end of this year, if not 2. Don't know if we're going to get into the bar game, by then, but it's definitely something on the map. But there's a lot of stuff we got to do here. So I think doing it the right way versus just throwing something together to play in it, I don't think that's the approach. So you got to differentiate today. And I think that's something we want people to expect when Rise puts out something. It's premium, but it's also different. And that's kind of what we're going to push here at Alpha Prime.
With the because like I said, the rebrand or relaunch went down in December. You've come on board for the first couple of months of 2021. What can we kind of expect moving forward? You mentioned you're looking at doing like pre-workouts and RTDs. Is it going to be sort of a fast-paced world? Like a lot of the brands or the more reputable or notable brands these days tend to pump flavors, formulas, and kind of keep that refresh going month from month. But then you do have, as you said, the strategic brands where they're trying to get their current brand name and line recognized, trying to grow with distribution, which is one thing you've always been incredibly good at with international markets. Is what can we kind of expect to see from you and AP over the next, I would say, like three to 6 months?
A lot. One word, a lot. There's, again, because we're blessed with some of the resources, we're going to be able to do a lot. We got the right team, the right personnel to do the things we need to do to get this brand pumping, make some noise in the industry. Me and a bunch of other brand owners and colleagues in this industry. A lot of brands have done really well the past 12 months, but I feel like the industry needs another brand to get excited about. I think the time's kind of staged for that. And I think we can be that brand. So with this team, with the resources that we're going to be able to do, I think we can play in a lot of different ways. So as much as I want to be strategic on some things, there's some things that we're going to have to push the envelope on and get out, because there's some categories that we're missing products currently. We talked about distribution. Distribution is kind of different today. But one of the things that we're going to really focus and push on is international. That is one of the things that, I've been blessed with the opportunity to make some unbelievable relationships around the world. Typically, that product selection, that product architecture might be a little bit different versus what's selling in the USA. Could be for cost reasons. It could be for ingredient regulatory reasons. So you'll see some stuff that we do here that might be solely specific for the international guys to kind of get this brand growing, right? You might see a couple of different lines here that, maybe one that's a little bit more specialized to e-commerce, maybe one that's more specialized for brick and mortar retail. I'm an old school brick and mortar guy. It's kind of how I grew up. Obviously, there's not as many of those guys left in the game anymore, but there are still some really good ones out there that do it right. So how can we play there, right? And then you always got Amazon kind of hanging out there. That's a whole different beast, right? And then you got grab and go. So, gym business is thriving, I know not all gyms are open everywhere here in the US, but gym business is still doing really well. Most gyms are not selling supplements. They're selling drinks, bars, snacks, and cookies. So how do we play there with those businesses? Obviously, you need distribution to be able to get those products into those gyms, because shipping 15-pound cases of drinks across America isn't very cost efficient. So that's a hurdle that we'll get to when we get there. But it's gonna be a little bit of everything. We can move fast. For those who know me, I don't stop. So I'll push and continue to get as much out as we can to grow this brand. And the other thing is we've got a really cool, trendy, premium clothing brand that we can leverage off of, especially in the fitness world, the community out there, being able to offer some really cool clothing to our customers, our retailers, our athletes at the end of the day, just to kind of hit it from both sides at the same time.
So basically, it sounds like we're getting everything in the next 3 to 6 months, new products, new categories.
120 days. So I think the difference today, though, obviously with COVID and where things are at right now, you've probably heard, if you're from the industry, a lot of delays out there right now, whether it's bottles, whether it's lids, whether it's contract manufacturers running 16 to 20 weeks. It's hard out. It's a lot harder out there. So COVID's definitely left its impact on some of that stuff. So being able to navigate, be as nimble as I probably normally would be, I got to be a little bit more creative. I'm able to on how to do this stuff. So, but it's a challenge. I enjoy it. One thing I love to do is I love to build brands. Some of the best times of my life was taking pro subs from nothing to over $50 million in 4 years. So I love to build brands. I think we can build a monster brand here between the clothing, the sports, the supplements, we've got a lot of stuff to utilize to grow this brand. And it starts with a great leader, and with Caesar at the top, I think we can do some big things.
And then don't forget Ike as vice president. So it should be.
I've got to be modest here, you know. But no, it's all about the team. I've always been a team guy. I'm nothing without my team, and that's why getting a couple of these guys over here was really important, because I can only do so much, right? Especially as we live in a digital world now. Everything from your packaging to your Facebook ads, your content, your assets, everything that you're putting out there visually through social media. There's a lot of good brands out there. There's a lot of good graphic guys out there. So it's got to be great. All your content, content, right? You can't put subpar stuff out there. So, if you want to be premium, you want to be different, you want to make an impact, you want to catch the consumer's eyes, you got to put out great content. And as you probably know, that takes, video guys, photography guys, graphic guys, digital media guys, or girls.
Time and effort.
It takes a team. It takes a team to do that. So I can't sell product if there's no demand.
Yeah.
And we got to create the marketing. We got to create the noise. And again, we're lucky. A lot of companies are downsizing these days. We're lucky to have an opportunity to work somewhere together as a team again, and build. So really, really excited. Hopefully we remember this podcast in a year from now, 2 years from now, and say, where it all started and where AP Sports Regimen is at that time. Hopefully one of the biggest brands in the industry. But at the end of the day, part of it's building a brand. That's fun. Obviously, it's a business at the end of the day. So, we got to make sure that the company does make money at some point in time. But we want to have fun. That was one of the things in the early Pro Subs days is growing a brand. It's fun at the end of the day. It's stressful. But when you're doing it with a great leader in Caesar and a great team that, AP has, prior to me getting here, we can have a lot of fun doing it. Going to trade shows, if those things are still ever going to happen. Obviously you got to do it in a different way now. Or who knows, maybe we're going to zig while everybody's zagging and we're going to get back into the trade shows. And, the cool thing is we could do things differently here. And really put this brand on the map in a short period of time.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a brand to watch. I always enjoy talking with you and hearing the excitement. So it sounds like we're in for a lot of stuff from AP over the next 3 months. 120 days is 4 months, 120 days. So yeah, man, thanks for coming on. I guess introducing the brand, letting us know what's to come.
Absolutely.
Even though
obviously, this is one of the exclusive outlets that we wanted to put this information out on, with this big news. We do think this is some big news that's going on right now in the industry. Obviously, we're big fans of what you've done out there. So stay tuned. I can tell you we'll be working really close with Shane this year on exclusive new product drops, innovations, flavors. There'll be some stuff that we leak exclusively here through Shane and Stacked at the end of the day. So definitely great to have you as a partner, as a friend, and I appreciate the time.
Awesome, man. Thank you for coming on. And I look forward to everything you have.